What is up, guys? I'm Seismic10. I'm going to teach you about the Vanguard Mystic Ahri comp, when to go for it, what units to run, how to be flexible when playing it, how to scout your lobby. So let's jump right into it. The basis of the Ahri comp is to have some Vanguards, some Mystics, at least 2 Dusk, and at least 2 Spirit. That means we definitely want Ahri, she's our carry. We want Yuumi for Mystic Spirit. We want Cassiopeia for Dusk Mystic. And we want Thresh for Dusk Vanguard. These 4 units create the core of our comp. Beyond that, we can go up to 2 or 4 of the other traits. In my opinion, the most important trait here in this meta is Mystic. There's so much magic damage. Riven is the dominant comp in this meta, so having 4 Mystic is huge. By the way, this comp is very good to go for when you're trying to play Riven. When you're collecting Vanguards and Mystics and Dusk units to play alongside her, and maybe you don't hit the right items, maybe you don't hit the Rivens, maybe something goes off. This is such a good backup plan. Because you go for Riven, you give yourself the chance for the win, and if you don't hit, this is a great way to secure a consistent top 4. Hitting top 4s is a mark of a good player. Consistency is everything in this game. So let's take the Chosen out there and let's say we hit a Dusk Chosen. Let's say we hit Dusk Cassio Chosen. So we're at 3 Dusk. If we eventually do hit Riven, we can play Riven in this comp, and we can go 4 Dusk. If we don't hit her, we can go something like Lilia or Vayne. But if we do go 4 Dusk, we do want to carry our Cassio, because only the Dusk units get the extra benefit from 4 Dusk. So you could have maybe a GA and some AP items, maybe some mana items. It's a little bit unusual, but it's definitely a way you can go. If you hit a Chosen Mystic, for example, let's say we hit Chosen Yuumi, we definitely want to go 4 Mystic. We can get in good Mystic units like Zillion, and depending on the lobby, you can even go 6 Mystic for 175 magic resistance. It's actually not that bad. It can be pretty good in some lobbies. So we could bring in all the Mystic units. We could play Janna. We can play... Where's my missing Mystics? We can get Jhin in there, and we can go 6 Mystic. But I think usually 4 Mystic is sufficient. Again, look at your lobby. Are there a lot of Ashes that are doing a lot of attack damage? Is everybody playing Riven where you're trying to protect against magic damage? You just have to scout and see which traits are most important to you that game. So we have our Mystic Chosen. We wouldn't want to play Lilia in this situation. We would likely rather just fill out with good Vanguards, good units. For example, we can get Sejuani in here, and one more Vanguard. We can go 4 Vanguard, 4 Mystic. That is not a bad build. Maybe we'd want Cassio to have the extra AP. If we hit a Vanguard Chosen, let's say we hit Chosen Aatrox, then we take out one of these Vanguards, we stick at 4 Vanguard, and we can bring in another Mystic here, perhaps Jhin, and we're still at 4 Mystic, 4 Vanguard. We're protecting against both kinds of damage. We should be tanky. We should give our Ahri enough time to do her massive damage, almost like a mini Gangplank ult from last set. Speaking of Ahri, she's similar to Gangplank in that GA is really good on her. she does all her damage in 1 or 2 big bursts. She doesn't really need QSS because as long as she goes off, she's done her job. She's not a damage over time unit like Ashe. So we want something defensive to keep her alive. GA's good, but Trap Claw, QSS, they could be played in a pinch. We want some mana so that she can go off faster. Blue buff and Shojin are basically the same item on her. Either way, it's going to be 5 auto attacks until she casts the first time, and then 6 on each spell after that. She's an 80 mana unit, so if you do the math, it comes out to just the same. Technically, Shojin is slightly better because she gets extra attack damage, but that is super negligible, so whatever you hit, either item is very good. And then we want some ability power. Jeweled Gauntlet and Death Cap are both really good Ahri items. If you do go 6 Dusk somehow, with like a Dusk Chosen, then Jeweled Gauntlet is a lot better than Death Cap, because Jeweled Gauntlet is multiplicative with AP, where Death Cap is not. But for 2 Dusk, they're basically the same item. They both give a lot of damage and are really good Ahri items. So these 3 here are my best in slot. If you get something like that, you should have a strong Ahri. So yeah, like I said, you could hit any of these 4 Chosens: Mystic, Vanguard, Dusk, Spirit. They can all be good. Let's say you hit Chosen, Ahri, Spirit. So now we have 3 Spirit. We'll probably drop the 4 Vanguard so that we can fit in 4 Spirit. That means bringing either Teemo or what's her name in... There's Teemo. It could be Teemo, and it can also be Kindred. I think neither one is that crucial here. Teemo doesn't have Sharpshooter. Kindred doesn't have Hunter. Neither one's going to be a carry. They're just to give your team the attack speed from the Spirit buff. So yeah, you can be flexible depending on what units you hit. You just get the best Mystics and the best Vanguards you can, and you get the best chosen unit you can find. If you're high HP, you can be greedy and go for your ideal chosen unit, or at least one of them. You probably can't hold out and say, I want chosen Ahri, although that would be nice. But you may not want to settle for like a chosen Dusk Vein, because she's not even good in this comp. You can definitely do better, because you can hit Spirit, Mystic, Dusk, or Vanguard and play around that. So the comp is flexible. It's a great plan B when you're going towards Riven. You can get a lot of top 4s. If you hit RE3, it can be a top 1. If you position well, it's a good comp. As far as frontline items, it's the same as most other comps. Sunfire Cape is a great item right now. Early game, it's so good to slam. It's flexible, it's good in any comp. It does a lot of damage, provides tankiness. Utility items can be pretty decent. Things like Zephyrs, things like Redemptions and Frozen Hearts. Let's put this on Shin. And Chalice is actually a really good item in this comp. I think it's underrated. Ahri wants AP, your Mystics want AP a lot of the time. It can actually be a big buff. Gives 30 spell power to 3 champions. I think that's about it. It's a strong comp. It can really improve your play if you know how to play it, and also when to play it. So yeah, play it if you're going Riven and you don't hit the Rivens, because Dusk Riven without Riven is really bad. This would be much stronger to transition into. And also, if you're going Riven and you want to play Jhin, because he's usually played with Riven, and you just have no attack damage items, you have no bows, you have basically no swords, then you can transition into Ahri as well, because you can play hybrids between the two comps. Say you make it to level 9, you get Riven in here for Dusk. You can go, we could drop Spirit, we could bring in 4 Dusk, and then we're basically playing both comps. They share enough units that it can be quite strong. So let's bring Lilia in, and all of a sudden, you get, I don't know, some random decent items for Riven on Carousel, and you have 4 Dusk Riven as well as Spirit, Dusk, Mystic, Ahri, and you can be very strong. So yeah, that's how I play the comp. It's something really good to go into. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks for stopping by the channel, and peace, guys.